like Berkeley of southern Arizona. I mean, it's deep, deep blue. I mean, I don't think there's 10 registered Republicans. No, I'm just kidding. But there's not a lot of registered Republicans in Tucson. And yet it is heavily, the Republicans are leading heavily in Pima County, Arizona.
So Pima County is now D plus 8.9. It's less than a 9-point Democrat advantage. It was over 11 points in the 2020 election. So that is a bit of a shrinkage of the Democrat registration roll and an addition of independent voters. Pima County's coalition is a little bit different than most major Democrat strongholds. You have a pretty large contingent of older white liberals, and you have a Latino working class contingent, which I don't know that Pima County strikes me as overly left-leaning. I think it's got some of that, and then the working class strength. And then you have Western conservatives, and you have big city urban Republicans. So no Republican has carried the county in a presidential race since 1988. Now, John McCain used to carry Pima County in his Senate runs, but Pima and Maricopa make up 3/4 of the vote in Arizona. So both of them together, if they're left-leaning, are very difficult to handle.
Right. And so Maricopa is the big enchilada here. It's like a mothership and Independence Day. You know, it's something like, 60% of Arizona's total votes. More than that, more than 60?
75% between Pima and Maricopa. Maricopa ballpark's about 60%.
Okay.
Now, if they're down a couple 100,000 votes this year, that's going to change things up because it looks like turnout is through the roof in the more conservative MAGA parts of the state.
So as we were going on air here, based on the early vote, which had Republicans up here in Arizona, 197,800, something like that, and the early turnout today, we were the numbers I were getting were about 240,000 Republican edge by about midday, something like that.
We were at 218 when we started up this morning, 218,000. And a lot of people think there's a lag in reporting of ballots from Maricopa County, given how many ballots they command in the state. But as the day has gone on, Republicans, last I saw, were up over 30,000 net ballots in Maricopa County. And, of course, we don't get quick updating results from Pinal, Yavapai, or other counties.
Santa Cruz.
It's a safe bet that Republicans are probably pushing, if not over 300,000 ballot advantage in Arizona right now.
And, folks, that's just astounding. 300,000. People say, are they going to be able to call it on election night? Well, they might not be able to call it. But if Trump gets a 300,000 lead in Arizona, we'll be able to call it because that's just a dominant lead. You got to understand that the majority of Arizona is red counties. You've only got about 4 blue counties, and some of those are very close. They're not dominant blue counties like Pima County. So Arizona early vote is turning out to look very, very Trumpy, very favorable to the Republicans. Let's move north to Nevada, and I think Nevada is shocking a lot of people.
Nevada is a state that has almost no Democrat voter registration left. When Obama was running for president in 2008, that advantage was more than 100,000. Nevada was won by George Bush in 2004, and then in 2008, Obama won by 12.5 points on the strength of a major Democrat registration push. So registrations are very predictive when it comes to Nevada. That registration advantage fell in 2012, and Mitt Romney split the margin roughly in half. And then in the last 2 races with Donald Trump, the state has been on a populist drive. And we've got 2 races that were within 2.5 points. And, of course, one of them was in the quasi-election of 2020. But right now, the Democrats have a 9,000 registration advantage edge over Republicans in the state. And the Republicans have about a 50,000 vote lead with early and mail voting and election day voting, which is a major swing of more than 75,000 from 2020 when Trump only lost by 33,000 votes.